Well guys, we got our next scrapyard project. Somebody scrapped this van the other day and actually drove it into the yard. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun with it, and then maybe we'll do a scrapyard science video and see how long the engine will last. I can guarantee you this one will not last long. You'll know why in a minute. Let's take a closer look at the van and talk about some of the things we're gonna do to it and have a little bit of fun. And like a lot of the other vehicles we've been experimenting with recently, this is another high horsepower vehicle. This thing has a 7.4 liter, 600 horsepower, 4-cylinder engine. So this thing's an absolute powerhouse. You'll hear how much power it has in a second when I crank it up. But the rest of the van is pretty standard for a scrap van. It's not in terrible shape, not in great shape, other than it smells like a literal goat inside here. I think somebody was using this as like a farm van, and I think that that might be accurate based on the bags of mulch and feed or whatever else is back there. So that gives me another idea. I think we should turn this thing into a scrap truck instead of a farm truck. So I think I'm going to take a Sawzall and just basically cut the roof right here behind the driver's seat, and then cut the door and this side panel all the way down and basically expose the back like a little truck bed. So instead of a minivan, we'll have a mini truck. Then we can see how much scrap it'll haul. We can run it up to the truck scale and see how much it weighs empty, load it up with scrap, and see how much it'll haul before this thing crumbles in half. But let me fire it up so you guys can see what this thing actually sounds like. So there you guys go. You heard how powerful this thing is. It's got so much horsepower, it's literally trying to throw a rod out of the block. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started busting the windows out and trying to get this roof cut off before this rain absolutely soaks me. So let's see how far we can get. Well, half a door down. Well, my Sawzall died on the last cut, so we had to move up to the shop and use a good old corded Sawzall. So hopefully after this, we'll be ready. Well, we got everything free. The forklift pretty much lifted the whole top off except the seat belts are holding it. So I'm gonna find something to cut those really fast, and then I'm gonna pull back down to the scrapyard side, throw this roof off, and then we'll run up to the truck scale and see what it weighs. Well guys, we have officially turned the minivan into a mini truck. Now this thing is full of trash. Glass from the windows and these plastic bags. Some of this plastic that came off when I was cutting it. So I'm gonna go throw this stuff in the trash, and then I'll meet you guys up at the truck scale so we can see what this thing weighs empty. So there you go, you can see this thing weighs 3,320 pounds with me out of it. Now let's take it down to the scrapyard and we'll use the magnet to load some cast iron rotors and drums into the bed of it. We'll bring it up and weigh it and see how much one magnet load weighs, and then we'll just pile a bunch in here and see if we can get it back up here to the scale. Well, the belt on the generator is broken on the magnet crane. And the other magnet crane is in the back getting serviced, and it's a Sunday and nobody's here, so I'm not going to be able to get that belt replaced. Today we are finally back with the mini truck project. The magnet crane is fixed, it's got a new belt and a new pulley on it, so we should have no issues there. So I guess I'm going to jump in here, get one good magnet load onto the mini truck. We'll head up to the truck scale, see what that one load weighs, then we'll bring it back down, load it up with as much as we can, and see if we can get it back to the scale while it's fully loaded. Well, what do you guys think one magnet load of the drums and rotors is going to weigh? Go ahead and make your guess and leave a comment down below, and let's head up to the truck scale and find out. $42.50 is what it weighs with the one magnet load. The van empty weighed 3320, so that one magnet load weighed 930 pounds. So just under 1,000 pounds per magnet load. Of course, they're going to vary a little bit depending on how much we get with each actual magnet. So let's run back down there and put another 4 or 5 magnet loads on there and really get this thing weighed down heavy and see if it'll make it back up here. Well, I think we found our first problem, and that is the missing tailgate. I put 3 more magnet loads on there, so that's 4 total. It's starting to squat pretty bad, so let me show you that, and then let's head back up to the truck scale and see what it weighs now. So you can see it is squatting pretty bad. Not as bad as I expected for having about, I don't know, I guess that's about 3,500 pounds on there. So the tires are definitely sagging a bit, and the suspension is getting closer to the tire. I don't think we're going to be rubbing yet. If my mental math is correct, there's 3,640 pounds of scrap on this van. So it is officially hauling more weight than the van itself weighs. But let's run back down there, throw some more on there. Hopefully we'll be able to make it back up here without the tailgate, and we'll see how much we can haul. Well, I think this is all we're going to be able to fit. If I had a tailgate, I could stack it up a little bit higher on the back, but every time I let go of the magnet, it just slides out. So we'll see how well it handles this. If it does really well, maybe in a future video, I'll get a piece of sheet metal and screw it or rivet it to the back of the van or something to use it as a tailgate. But I really, based on how much the van was knocking the last time, I'm not too optimistic that it's going to handle this too well. But let's find out. Well, you can see it is definitely squatting quite a bit more. Those tires are definitely not looking very happy, and the hitch is very close to the ground. We've got just a few inches, so one big bump and we will definitely be scraping the ground. And also you can see I dropped some on the roof of the van, or the cab of the truck, I guess, whenever I was trying to stack them in there, because I was trying to keep everything towards the front, and some of them fell down in between the seats, so we definitely got a few extra in there based on that. So there we go, it can haul 7,010 pounds. That thing is hauling basically or over twice the weight of the van empty. I'd say that's definitely pretty impressive. I did have to hold it to the floor trying to come up the hill through there, and I definitely was scraping across all of the bumps, but it still made it up here relatively easily. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit any more rotors on here today. Like I said in another video, I'll maybe have to make a tailgate for it if we want to try to do that, or maybe I'll try to figure out something else to use this scrapyard mini truck for. Well, let's take it back down there and see how quickly we can unload it. Well guys, they didn't slide out as well as I had hoped, but that's going to be it for this one today. I think it's pretty impressive with how much this thing hauled with little to no problem and having a knocking engine. I am going to go ahead and unload the rest of it with the crane so the guys don't get too mad at me tomorrow for leaving a big mess down here. But thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think we should try next, and we'll see you on the next one.